Yes, guys, welcome to the Lifetime Physique podcast or the YouTube if you're watching on YouTube. Today I'm joined by Carl. Carl's one of the clients inside Made for More. Today we're celebrating some of Carl's success. Going to go over where he was before joining the program, what caused him to want to join, what success he's had since joining the program, talk a bit about where he is now and what the future has in store, and we'll go from there. So, Carl, welcome, mate.
Thank you.
How are you feeling?
I'm feeling good, thank you. Thank you for having me.
That's all good. So let's dive straight in. So tell everyone watching a bit about you, so what your background is, what it is you do for work, and then yeah, we'll go from there, mate.
So at the moment, I'm an area support manager for Cancer Research UK. So my job just involves a lot of traveling. So some days I can do up to sort of 4 hours of driving, dealing just with lots of phone calls, emails, messages, problem solving. My job is very varied, see different people every day, just new problems. But it's all really just to raise as much money as we can for Cancer Research UK. So it's a job that I'm passionate about the cause, which
Mm.
helps me do the job that I do. But it is very stressful and yeah. And yeah,
Good.
that's
I
me.
like it, mate. So talk to us about how long you've been part of Made for More, what made you join, how you were before you joined, and what sort of gave you that buzz and that kick up the bum to get started.
Yeah, so I kind of sort of fell into it in a way. So my husband Danny, he joined the Made to More program last November. And obviously he started his sort of journey, sort of health journey.
Mm.
Um, so I, um, so I, at that point, being inspired, I started a couch to 5K. I tried to do this before during lockdown. I had a bit of an emotional breakdown, so I only got like 2 weeks in and just gave up completely. So for me, I started doing couch to 5K just on and off, sort of between November and April, and just found I really enjoyed it. It was really helping my mental health. 'Cause obviously dealing with a lot of stress at work. I think just running really just helps clear my mind. But I think the problem I was having was I was kind of running on empty. The last 3 years I've lost in this job role. I've lost quite a lot of weight. I think just through the stress of it all. So I just found myself in a place where I was losing a lot of weight. I didn't really know sort of how to get that back.
Yeah.
You had Danny had kept saying, "Why don't you join me at the gym?" And I was like, "I just don't. I've never liked gyms. I've never really been in them, and if I have, just really not knowing what to do." So then you had a free challenge going in April. So Danny just thought, what have you got to lose? I thought, okay, to be honest, I just thought I'll just do it for a bit of fun, and then that'll be it.
Yeah.
Actually, when I started the challenge, I don't know what happened really. I just really took to it.
Yeah.
I actually sort of going to the gym and trying out the gym exercises. I actually found I was actually getting more of a buzz from my gym training than my running, and it was just quite nice. And then a part of that is you asked me to do sort of some progress photos of just sort of where I'm at now,
Mm.
basically. And I did them and set them. But then when I looked at them, I think that's what made me realize like how much weight I'd actually lost, and like I was sort of quite scared by that. That's when I decided, I need to take action on this, and I need help with that.
Yeah, got it. So your goals are different to a lot of clients inside Made for More, where your goals is to gain weight, and of course a lot of clients are health driven, like you are focused on your health, but and so are other clients, but they're predominantly clients that are looking to lose body fat. So you're obviously different. You said that you struggle with your weight, you lost quite a bit of weight. Talk to me about how that was impacting you.
I, I think, I think, well, it has been, it's just, I've kind of always been a bit out of shape. And it's like, if I ever did put weight on, I just put it all onto my stomach, but I never have it in my chest and my arms.
Mm.
And like, I've just always had like really skinny arms, even though I've done jobs that's involved manual lifting. I've just always had that thing of just what people say to you, just like, oh God, you're so skinny. You're such a skinny bitch. And then I'm like, well, actually, I have all this fat around my middle. I don't really sort of like the way I look. I think I've never been that keen on the way I look, but I've been less keen on maybe how I am as a person and how I feel. I've struggled quite a lot in my life with sort of my identity and confidence. And I think when I had my call with you, I just kept coming back to this like I just felt weak and pathetic. They're the two things I've always felt I've been in life. I've just always been just on the smaller side, the thinner side, and I've probably just let a lot of things. I've just held myself back over the years with quite a lot of things like careers and bits and pieces. So I think I think that's where I was at. I think it's been strange because when I've told people I've signed up with a PT, I have had a few people say to me like, well, why are you with somebody? And then when I start to sort of talk to them about the health side of it and what I want to achieve, they do understand it. But yeah, I have felt, and in the program, it is a little bit. I do feel sometimes I'm on a different journey to everyone, but I think like the calls that you do, the midweek calls that you do, make sense because it's all about. You've made me understand it. It's just about wanting to improve your health and
Yeah.
build an identity
Mm.
to be healthy.
Yeah, a complete identity shift. I agree. So you struggle with your identity and like your confidence and feeling weak for a long time. What aside from obviously Danny giving you that motivation and inspiration to want to make a change, a lot of people would know they need to make a change, but they wouldn't take action on it. Some people say they need to wait till work's quieter, because I know it was busy when you joined. Some people will wait for a different time for whatever reason. Why do you feel you were different and you were so like adamant that right, I'm going to do this and I'm going to take that leap of faith and get to work?
I think, to be honest, what happened with me is because I did pull it off a little bit and then sort of did the challenge and join. But sadly, at the same time, my I lost my father quite suddenly,
Mm.
and I had a very complex relationship with my dad, and it's just been really, really tough. And I don't think I would have got through this year if it had not been made for more. Just quite honestly, and I think because I started at a time when things were difficult, I think for me it's like I can now cope with when things are better, if that makes sense. I think for people thinking about the best time to join, I think you probably actually best joining when you think things are really difficult and busy. Because I think when you reach them moments where you have them regular weeks, it just feels a lot easier. So
100%.
yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
you went through a tough time and that was obviously challenging for you. And mate, that's so nice to hear that you feel made for more and like the service itself helps you through that.
Yeah,
Um,
it really did. Like the midweek calls for me have been like therapy, really. I think a lot of the stuff on identity, like so growing up, I really struggled like coming to terms with sort of being gay. Got like a lot of other people got bullied at school for it, hated it. If it had been a straight pill, I would have taken it. Obviously, when I was growing up, late 90s, early 90s, it was a lot different. And it really affected like the relationship I had with my dad. I just always felt I didn't fit in. I liked sports when I was younger, but then didn't feel I could be in the space of enjoying sports because of my sexuality. And like obviously I was very lucky. I was able to come out of the closet, had a really good reception. Years down the line, I found Danny. I'm now happily married and I live a very happy, confident life. But I think sometimes that stuff that happens when, especially in your teenage years, you hold on to these things. And I think the feeling of being sort of weak and pathetic it stayed with me. I think it all came full circle, sort of starting the program and sort of losing my dad at the same time. So yes, I think as well as having some bereavement counselling, which you sort of talked to me about and helped me through. I think those midweek calls to sort of have a look at everything through the lens of health has really helped me. And obviously, I think naturally the gym has just really helped me. So the gym has just become a bit of bit of escapism for me. I really like the fact that I can go to the gym for an hour. I can focus on myself.
Mm.
I can switch off from other stresses that I've got in my life. I can just look at the workout, look at sets, think about sets, reps, weights, machines, and I
Yeah.
just really respond to that. I think it it's really beneficial for me. It might be for others.
Yeah, I'm glad to hear that, mate. And look, I appreciate you being honest because sometimes it's difficult to be completely honest, especially when you know it's been recorded and posted. People can, yeah, people will hold back. So I appreciate you telling the truth and being honest. So yeah, a lot's happened. I understand why you joined the program. Question to you, Carl, would be like people will struggle for years. I know you struggled for a while, and we understand what gave you that kickstart to want to join up. But I know a lot of people will say they want to make a change. They want to do this now. They don't want to wait till later. Now is the right time. But then I tell them, right, this is going to be the investment. This is to get you started. And then suddenly things change. And people don't want to do it and people don't want to make it work. What was your reasoning? Because like what made you decide, you know what, I understand that the investment isn't going to be like £30 a month, but I'm gonna do this. Like what made you take that action where so many people would shy away and avoid it?
I think for me, what they were like the considerations. Obviously Danny was sort of the Danny. We'd had that with Danny joining the program, and that. And I think for me, because I saw the just brilliant success like Danny has had since he joined, and again, it's just how he is as a person, how he's developed. I mean, actually, in the past year, so he's been the one. He's just been able to help me through this really tough time past year.
Mm.
But I think to answer your question, it's like it's yeah, it's it. I think it's really hard to describe it. It's not just lifting some weights and tracking some food. It's everything. It's the whole package. So for me, I thought if I'd gone for for counselling, I'd have been paying a lot. I would probably for a weekly session, I'd have been paying a lot more money. So I think I sort of looked, and I think from everything I get, it's the whole nutrition side of it, the
Mm.
whole gym workout side of it, but then also the coaching on top, the mindful coaching, the midweek calls, we just get so much value as clients, and that's what you've driven. So for me, being in the program now, I'm more of a sense of I don't know how I sort of lived without it.
Wow.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
No, it's incredible. And that puts a smile on my face. I'm glad that obviously you get a lot of value from it, mate. And this is what I say to people. It's hard to explain to someone what it is that they're getting and like how, like what improvements you're going to get and specifically the deliverables. Outside of people just think it's nutrition, it's workouts and that's it. But
And the
there's
group chat is a really big part of it as well because everybody is on a journey, but we're all on our different journeys, but we all support each other through it, like with the guidance of yourself. I think particularly what I like about the program is that the group is very diverse, but there's a lot of respect, and like you've built a safe space where everyone can be, and everyone is really respectful and support each other on them journeys. I kind of think like I didn't really know much about the fitness world, but the impressions I had, and they were probably wrong, is like somebody might happily just take my money because they want to make some money, but I don't think they would maybe understand like how I am as a person or like my sort of who I am, and like maybe not respect it as much. They might take my money, but maybe just laugh at me behind my back, like. But like I've never felt that with the program, like from yourself. Like I think like how you are with everybody, like you treat everybody with the same level of respect. And like I mean, you're honest with people, which is really good. But then you're relatable as well. Like you talk about your challenges that you're having. You've done all this work, then you're going out for a run at 9. So it all just like I think the group chat side of it, and then the social events from that. Me and
yeah.
Danny, we've made some really nice connections with people, and we've come and joined some really nice events through the year, and so we've got some really nice memories from that as well.
Yeah, buzzing, mate. I was gonna say like the next thing I was gonna go on to was what success you've had and the sort of things that you found useful inside of the program. So I guess we'll just sort of filter into that. So we spoke about a few things which we can go into a bit more depth about, but what success have you had since joining? Like, what would be the things that sort of stand out to you?
So in the really thinking about, I did sort of think about this way, like really vain. Like I've actually got some biceps.
Yeah.
I've never had. I actually understood what a tricep was as well. I've never had biceps before. I've always had skinny arms. So actually to see that change, I have been guilty of being, in a mirror after the gym, flexing the waist. Like I've never been able to do that because I've never had anything to flex at all. So I think, yeah, the benefits of that. There's been lots of simple things like just having them 3 meals a day. Like, so I would always somebody who I'd skip breakfast, wouldn't have time for lunch, and then just get to the afternoon and be crashing out, and then just eating a load of junk food and stuff. So just putting them foundations in place have really benefited me. So I make sure in the morning now I always have breakfast before I set off for work.
Good.
And I think it made me kind of realize, like, why did I live life like this? Why did I think it was like as though I didn't deserve to have 10 minutes to have breakfast before I went to work. I was always maybe putting other people, like
Mm.
maybe the job needs and other people needs ahead of my own. And that's not like a really good example for me to set, for my stepdaughter and my family, you know. I think the gym for me, loads of benefits from going to the gym. Like you said, I get the enjoyment from it, and I think something you mention every now and again, it's like you always say, like, what's the alternative? And for me, it's like if we didn't go to the gym, it's like, well, what would we do instead? We'd probably just we'd probably just have tea, veg on the sofa, just
Yeah.
sort of scrolling our phones, probably then get bored and then think we're just going to snack. Whereas now, like, we can come in from work, we head out to the gym. Sometimes then we go for a walk afterwards, and then so I think, we're then maybe on our phones less. So then we're sort of really chatting, reflecting, cooking nice food together. So I think definitely from a relationship point of view, there's just been so many benefits along them lines.
Good.
And then just kind of feeling more motivated, and then sort of thinking more about the future, like what I want to achieve. I'm happy with how my arms are at the moment, but I want them to improve and get better, and I want to keep building my body. This year I've managed to run a 5K.
Mm.
I've carried on training on the treadmill. I managed to get to 10K the other week on the treadmill. I've started doing park runs. I'm now improving my time on my 5K. I managed to do sub 30 minutes the other week, and
Brilliant.
so the euphoria of doing that was just brilliant.
Yeah.
This week I did a pec deck fly, which it's been like my biggest bugbear in the gym. Like, it's been one machine which I've hated. I think at times I've wished, like, why can't Jacob just take it out? I think he's just being mean, but like I've carried on, and I managed to get to
Absolutely.
my highest weight on it this week with
Yeah.
with good form and into the rep range as well. And again, it's really hard to describe, but I get like a euphoria from it. I'm just like grinning and smiling, just like, "Oh, wow, I can't believe I've just managed to do that. That's
Yeah.
crazy." Yeah.
I love it. So, yeah, you've had a lot of improvements. So, strength, physique development, like general cardio, like cardiovascular fitness has improved massively. You've hit some good milestones there as well. But
Yeah.
also the person you've become on the journey, like how you're stronger, you've increased your mental resilience. The way you handle situations is better, very similar to Danny. And if you could sort of summarize all of the benefits you've had in like 60 seconds or in three key points, how would you summarize that?
Yeah. Um,
Put you on the spot there.
yeah, you put me on. Yeah. Yeah, I think it is just really hard to describe, but I think I think for me, it is just, I think for me, if I hadn't had that, I just don't know what the alternative would have been if I'd not had it. When I look at this year, I've had so many difficult moments. So if I'd not had all these benefits,
What would you be?
I would have thought, I would have fallen apart. I probably would have reached the point where I'd have wanted just to give up, probably like run away or worse. I have had them moments in my past where I've been really, really down, but I've managed to navigate them moments this year, and I had a moment the other week where I had a bit of a wobble, but I just took myself, I just went and had a really long walk just to sort of clear my head to sort of deal with it. So, it's just very much, I know that I can keep improving as well. Like, keep joining them between calls and really, again, just try and build up that mental resilience.
Yeah.
And I can, yeah, and I can feel more hopeful about the future.
Yeah.
And there is that sense of I can now say to myself, I'm not a weak person and I'm not pathetic.
Yeah.
I'm being here.
Yeah.
So,
Proving to yourself who you are now through your actions, and you shifted your identity, the way you act, the person you become. What's in, and mate, this is all brilliant, by the way, where you've been to where you are now. But what's in the future for Carl? Like, let's say 6, 12 months from now, what does that look like for you?
so at the moment, I've very much got from our new calls week. I'm thinking about like New Year's Eve. So where I want to be at New Year's Eve, I want to be able to look back and look at achievements. So there's a couple of exercises in the gym that I want to reach a certain point to at the end of the year. But yeah, next year I definitely want to do a 10K race. So I want to be regularly running
Yeah.
10Ks. Potentially then that after that point I can look at the half marathon route. But then I really do, again, just quite vain. I just really want to keep growing the biceps, and then it'll be my upper chest for me as well. I think obviously I've identified sort of in the program this has been
Yeah.
sort of one of the sort of key areas for me that I've struggled with. I've really struggled with a lot of the chest related exercises.
Yeah.
But yeah, but then there's you're planning a photo shoot for next year, so I'd really like to be part of that. Because when I started on the program, you kindly invited me along, but I'd literally just started on my journey,
Yeah.
so I
Yeah.
was posing a lot with a lot of the. So it'd be really nice to
See the
do
progress.
that and see where we're at. I think me and Danny have talked about, a summer holiday next year, and we've thought about, it's actually be really nice to
Mm.
book one and go away somewhere, and that we'd again have that confidence to again, be around the pool. We can take our tops off and not feel self-conscious. So yeah, and potentially something I've not done since I was a child was play football. So I think I might potentially look at that as well. I see at the gym there's a five-a-side that happens every week, so I think I might explore that
Get
and give
involved.
that a go as well. So yeah, so just really just building them goals for next year.
Yeah. Brilliant, mate.
Yeah.
Love it, Carl. So yeah, I appreciate your time and like sharing your journey from where you were when you started, like the success you've had, where you are now, and what you've got moving forward in terms of goals and ambition. No, I appreciate your time, Carl. And what would you say to someone who was on the fence to joining the program? What would you say to them?
I've, I'd just kind of probably say to him like, you've got nothing to lose. Like, you've just got to give it a go, and you will gain so much from it. And like, from yourself, you'll get somebody who will just be on your side and be your cheerleader and work really hard for you. You really do get good value. I think a few weeks ago, I think you had a Saturday night where you went to the gym and re-recorded a lot of the form videos, and you did that for us clients, and you took, you did that for us. Like, I remember it, the came up on my Everfit, and it was an exercise where I was quite confident with. But I thought, you've taken that time to do that. I'm gonna watch that video and see if there's anything more I can gain from it. And there was, it was really good to see it from a different perspective, or just learn more about like elbow position or something like that. And for me, it was just like, it's like maybe something you didn't have to do, but you did that for us. You were always just looking at ways to give that value to clients. I think I would just say to people, like, you've got nothing to lose. You're going to be able to it is worth more than it costs. You create a safe space where people feel safe, they feel respected, and again, they can, as well as connecting with yourself, they get to connect with lots of people, lots of people
Yeah.
in the group and go on this journey. Then they're not alone, and there is always somebody there to be a cheerleader for them.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Love that. No, I appreciate your kind words, Carl. And I think yeah, it's incredible the journey you've been on. We've still got goals, we've still got ambitions for next year, so
Yeah.
we're still working. Where can people find you if they want to ask you a question? I'm sure you probably wouldn't be against that. Where can people connect with you?
For me, I'm on Facebook, just Carl Ross. I'm on Instagram as well, Carl Ross Trans. Yes, I've been documenting my I've been sort of documenting my journey a bit on Instagram and Facebook as well. I'd reached a point where I used to be very private on social media and Facebook and stuff, but I have actually started to share a bit more of that, and I have started reconnecting with all family and friends. Yes, I'm Carl Ross 1985 on Instagram.
Nice, love it. Okay, Carl, look, I massively appreciate your time, mate. I think the journey you've been on is incredible. I'm looking forward to seeing where we go in 2026. Thank you for joining me, Carl. I hope everyone who's listened has got a lot of value from it and inspired by Carl's story. And yeah, thank you very much, Carl.
Just once again, just thank you to yourself for everything that you've done. It's been life changing, so thank you.
Of course, of course.